Hola, hola, hola. Hey, friends, family, seekers. I'm doing this for my live page. My personal page. And I hope that this is coming on now because we've been having some technical difficulties and I don't like it. So, wherever you are joining me from, joining us from, I am grateful. Um, Boom. Sending it back to my friend. Hey, she's coming now. Yay, it worked. I don't know what's going on with Facebook. Okay. So we are, as she is coming on. I see you, friend girl, is adding you now. Yeah, I'm gonna do this live with my friend, my bestest friend. Hey, best friend. I am doing this with my bestest friend. Oh my goodness. Listen, this is I just all of a sudden got super overwhelmed with my emotions. I ain't gonna hold you. It's been one of those mornings too. But look, okay, I just want y'all to know. But I am grateful. Hold on, let me close my door.
Yeah. Am I? Can you hear me? Okay.
I can't hear you. Okay, can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So y'all, we had to do this from my personal page instead of the Insights for Strength page with the okay. I'm also going to, I think. No, I can't do that. Okay, I'll share it whenever the opportunity comes to share because the old lady vibes is taking over. I got my best friend with me, y'all. I got my best friend. We usually don't do on camera stuff for real, so I'm super grateful that she that she accepted the invite to do because this is not usually our zhuzh. But what I know is that it's a moment in time that I honestly I want to keep and that I'm here for and I'm grateful for. And out of nowhere, for me, it kind of landed on my hip plate. I was talking to the Lord. I was just laying in my bed. It was like two Saturdays ago. Hey, Lakrita. I was on here, laying in my bed 2 Saturdays ago. And I was just thinking about my life and all the things. And all I heard was like, it's time. Like, it is time for, hey, Jen. It is time for us to have this conversation. So we didn't send each other anything. I called best friend, like, you ready for this?
I'm a little nervous about what these questions can be.
For whatever reason, my friend is always heart attack ready. Like she just clenching the pearls about whatever questions and such that I normally ask her. And so I had to tell her, like, friend, it's okay. It's a good thing, right? So she can calm my nerve. So it's a good thing. But what I was referencing was that it's time for us to have a conversation live on. It is our birthday next week. Jeff. Hey, Jeff. So what better treat? Actually, this is kind of a treat for me because yes, as Jeff has stated, he's one of my birthday twins. My birthday's coming up and it's my birthday month in the love month. Hello. And then there is this year's theme of evolution. And or evolving, rather not evolution, but evolving for me that the Lord has given to me. So when I called friend and I told friend, like, hey, it's time for us to do this, she was like, oh, okay, I can breathe, I can handle that. I can handle that. So I'm glad she can handle that. So this conversation can go anywhere, right? It could go anywhere. I don't friend again, so you can really go shut up. I don't have any prepared questions. No. So this conversation is gonna be mad authentic. Hey, Jalele, it's gonna be mad authentic, which I am here for. Let me pray. Okay, so sit on my nerve. Let me pray. Lord, we thank you. God, I thank you for my friendship. I thank you, God, for allowing you to be in the midst of us, Lord. We invite you in always, Holy Spirit, to govern and to have your way. We thank you for those that would join in. We thank you for the seeds that will be planted, God. We thank you for those who will be encouraged by friendship. Maybe you will offer the opportunity to restore other friendships, God. But we thank you for the love that exists here. You have your way in Jesus' name. Amen. 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 Hey, Ebony. So, friend, you want to tell them how we met? Because this is a mirror where our genesis is.
Oh, yeah. So we met in elementary school. But we didn't really become like close friends probably into middle school.
Yes.
So it's sad to say it's been a long time coming, but also like excited to say like
Mm-hmm.
it's coming.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Jelena, of course, Jelena. Jelena like old, LOL.
like,
Right.
don't start.
So yes, becoming friends in middle school. Continue on.
So it's just blossomed since then. Like, I mean, like our friendship has definitely gone through cycles. We've
Yes.
had our growing pains.
Yes.
We take like separations. Like
Yes.
I feel like nothing teaches you better about relationships than
Come
friendships.
on, friend.
Like friends,
This is true.
they be hard to balance, especially once you get to like your like I'm gonna start at like your late 20s to your 30s. You
Okay.
like the real adulting starts. So
Yes.
like you are figuring out how to balance your friendships with your relationships with your like anything that kind of encompasses your life. And I'm with you on a note, like I'm thankful to God that is something that we've been able to balance. And I thank God for like all of the friendships that I've had that have been long-term
Yeah.
friendships, like been through our humps and
Yeah.
hurdles, and like still been able to like remain friends and like figuring out the different ways to support your friend when they're in their stages of life.
Legit. So I actually let's stick the pin there for a little minute, because I would agree with that. Sometimes folks' friendships get lost in translation, and so I liken this to even not like we're dating, but in essence, like at one point, our relationship, because we were grown up, like we've been friends since childhood, as she's already stated. We come up where we spend the weekends together, hanging and spending the time. So we got all the time in the world when we were children to have these very exciting, moments, or not even so exciting. We'll be on the phone, we ain't talking about nothing. We just got our feet kicked up on the wall. Maybe we're on the phone literally reading books together. And sometimes we bought the same books, or we, went to Barnes and Nobles and we chilled out there. But to the process, like she said, of evolving in life, and then on being on two different roads, or, two different paths of life. But I think that is something that, like she said, we've had our separations, but it's something that we've done well it's like we always found each other, or God always allowed us to find each other or meet each other where we were. And not all the time did that come with a conversation.
Or
Right.
like
Like
not with ease.
exactly. I'm like, it just kind of happened, right? And so the balancing act, like, it's like, okay, well, where are you? I think that's where check-ins, right? Check-ins are extremely important in friendships, as they are in any other relationships. Like, okay, so what? We're in the love month. Valentine's Day just passed. Some folks are harping on what their romantic partners or platonic partners did. But then, you got your friends. Like, for us, okay, because I wanted to just talk about the balancing of the relationships. That's where I am right now. My coffee, like, hey, we are awake. Well, I gotta draw myself back in.
I had tea this morning because I didn't want to be too anxious while I was on here. I was like, I'm gonna get some tea. It's going.
I got Lavazza coffee over here, and it's an espresso, and actually it's an espresso. So I'm like, hey, okay, come back. But balancing that, like having, like, what makes that easy for you, or is it easy at all? Like you said, to give that balance. Go ahead.
So balancing friendships, I
Yes.
feel it's dependent on where I was at in life.
Okay.
Like sometimes it's easier for you to balance your friend relationship when you don't have like a ton going on. But
Mm-hmm.
like life be lifing.
Mm-hmm.
And like at that point, sometimes you in a bubble. You ain't talk to none of your friends. Like I definitely feel like I go through stages where I'm like super social with my friends, and
Yes.
then I go through stages where it's like, baby, I love you. I'm here, need me, but like I gotta protect
Yes.
all of it over here, like
Yes.
because it's stuff.
Listen, I'm like the check-in friend. Like I think over time it's just like, hey, where you at? I ain't seen you, whether it was been on social media or for text message or a conversation, just like, hey, where you at? So usually I'm drawn to a point for me where I go find my friends, right? Not because we are neglecting each other, but just to make sure that they're okay. Go ahead.
I feel like there has like I feel like in our relationship that has definitely become the flip, because I feel like you used to be like the disappearing act where I gotta be like, let me see where my best friend
Yeah.
at. And now it's like, I feel like I'm more of the disappearing act, where you like, hey, where you at? What you doing?
Right. So it definitely changes, and be okay with that. So let's move into the space of, so we talked about having a balanced and active friendships. Let's talk about transitions, like what's needed during the time. And I think it's for friend groups. So my friend is a very eclectic friend. Right? She's she out of the two of us, I considered her to be the most social of us, right? And there's a point where she's more social. I think it's changed.
Oh, for sure.
I think it's definitely has changed, but I'll start it here. If it was not for my friend, right, I probably would not have had a social life. Period. Like middle school, high school, Jackie I've been churchy all my life. That's just the thing. Like I was raised in church, born into church. My mom was highly involved, and therefore I too became involved, in service. Not to say that my friend was not, right, but she had a social life. I think I experienced teenage life and friendship things because of her. Like, let's go to we're talking about transition, so let's go to sixth grade and let's talk about that purple journal. Purple journal housed all the secrets. Let's and girl talk, if we ever had one, it was like, if I go to movies, right? If we go to a movie, I can't think of a particular movie right now, but if you see it, you see it on TV, you see it in movies, where your friendship, we had your locker combination and you had your little diaries and your notebooks. We had a shared notebook, and Brittany started that shared notebook. Go for it.
That you even remember.
Hey, T. Lee.
Oh, because it was my notebook. I remember, because I had one and I had a pink one. So I was like, well, if we run out of pages over here, we got this one over here.
Yes.
So all right. So like when we were in sixth grade, me and Jackie were not in the same classes.
We were not.
I want to be in a class with my friend, but since we can't, like, let's figure out how we can still talk through class. So we like, boy, if somebody that got their hands on that notebook,
she was one of my other close friends, Tisha, T. Leon. She one of my other friends from middle school. This is crazy. Come on. She said, hey, Britt. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So we definitely started with, like, I feel like that definitely started the growth of how we started to communicate with each other. Definitely was like that. Yeah.
So the purple thing, but it's a purple journal.
It was my favorite one.
Yeah. And I had it for a long time, even like after we left middle school. I still had that journal for a very long time. I had it when I went into middle school, and it got lost in transition with my mom and when I went to college. But I can say I think that it
didn't read it.
Because amen, we had some things in that book. The girl talk, boy talk, all the things.
We're young.
We're young, all our young feelings, right? And so I was grateful. I think that definitely bonded us through language and understanding each other. So that was like middle school transitions. My friend, y'all, I was super thinking about this morning. My friend is a fighter. She goes for what she wants, what she believes, and she knows how to attack it well. To me, and there's been many a times where I share something with her and I could just feel her and see her expression immediately, like big sister, little sister, who messing with my friend?
Well, I will say thank you for that now emotional, that made me get a little teary. I'm not gonna cry on here today. That is the goal. Don't be trying.
Okay.
But I will say I'm definitely very protective. It's like when I love hard.
Yes.
You gonna know, because it's gonna be like, who messing with you? Yeah. And the thing is like, I worry, like, I like when people mess with my best friend, just because, like, I know my best friend. Like, you have a calm spirit, a calm, loving, big heart. So it's like, if somebody messing with you, like, no, we got a problem.
Yeah.
Business messing with you. You mind your business.
I do mind my business.
So it's just like, what?
I ain't never been messy, y'all. I ain't never been messy.
No. So it's like, no, don't pick a fight with her. Yeah. Like, leave her, go back.
Yeah. Yes. And listen, I'm actually the same way. So I'm Mama Bear. when it comes to friendships, when it comes to family. Mine is a little bit more calmer, right? Because I internalize first before I usually react and respond. Not saying we just out here going ham and tearing up people, but we didn't have to, you know, bust holes in tires, nothing like that, right? We had some close calls. I said we, okay, friends, stick with me, friends, stick with me. The two of us together, okay? Because again, we have different friend groups too, right? And so I know where mine just went.
I'm not touching that.
Right. So I know my friend head just went, okay? So we have different friend groups. And so the protective instinct is real. Yeah. Like she said, I love hard. We both do. We love hard. We love well, and we want the best for people in general. And so we don't ever have we don't harbor any ill will towards people, right? So when it comes for us, we got some things to say. She like, who messed with my friend? And I'm like, Lord, you better. Right? I understand. Hey, Tamara. Hey, Marsha. I'm like, we understand picking the battles and choosing them wisely, okay? Because we ain't finna be up in everything. But it comes with like that, those types of moments and memories. Like I'm not gonna age us too well, but I would say we have a 10 plus year. Right? That's agreeable, friend. 10 plus year friendship.
Put it out there anyway. So it don't even matter. Once she hit us with the and I said, oh, that's how we playing this.
Right. So our friendship has definitely endured some things. I remember one time, let's share a scary moment. Oh, what? Hey, Derek. Derek is funny. So we have, there's a memory that I have. We were of us where, again, that protective instinct came. This was dealing with a mutual friend's brother, where we were walking. I think we were going back to your house, and out of nowhere, like, these dudes came and jumped a friend. And he did nothing. He was just a guy walking with us. Like, we wasn't on nothing. He wasn't on anything. It was one of the scary experiences that I had. But I see my friend going to prayer, because we're talking about the strength of my friend, right? I see her going to a very protective instinct, even though neither of us knew what to do. We were all young. But I seen that, like, one thing that I love about my friend is that she loves her people, period. She loves her people. She loves the community. Because that was like one of the things that I was thinking about this morning. It's just like how hard. It's a quiet, I don't know. I don't want to say it's a quiet kept secret, because I don't think that it is. But it is. Like, she has some real love for Milwaukee. And so talking about the evolution and transitioning I want to talk about where that came from. Friend, where did that community bonding or relationship come from?
I think, I think that was something that was just kind of instilled. Part of it, it's so many pieces that play a part into, like, I think me being very community minded. I think part of my family, because, like, my family is very good, like, very big on, like, helping others.
Yes.
So, like that is, like, a big piece of it. But also, like, to take it there, like, I was a girl for most.
Yeah, come on, girls out.
And so, like, I feel like that taught me a lot about, like, advocating for myself, number one, like, then number two, advocating for others. And, like, I feel like with the things that I was involved in my youth, like, it really pushed me to understand, like, where my focus should be. And I think it honestly showed me a lot about, like, inequities in the world, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Like, I feel like sometimes I've been placed in places where I didn't know anything, I didn't understand, and I had to learn, and I had to learn quick. And I think that it's helpful, because then when I'm out, like, working with the community, or, like, even with my, like, family and friends, like, it really plays into, like, how I'm able to support people and how I'm able to navigate systems.
Yes. Ooh, okay. Navigating a system of friendship with the community mindset. How does that? I want you to dig into that a bit.
I'm gonna need you to give me, like, a extra clarity.
No problem. So you said it taught you, one of the things that it taught you was how to navigate systems, right? Whether, things that are systemic or navigate, but I want navigating people in relationships or navigating systems in relationship, because whether we acknowledge or not, friendship, it does have, there is, I won't say a hierarchy, but there are tiers in it. Like I have one friend who says, who is your inner court? Who is your outer court, right? Spiritual, not spiritualizing, but showing like, who do you bring in close and who do you know how to kind of keep at bay? You said Girl Scouts taught you not only advocacy and learning the inequalities of a thing, but how does learning systems teach you how to navigate friendships or who to bring in with friendships?
You know what? It's just so funny because like I can't, for me, I can't make the correlation between the two things.
Okay.
Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's just like, you know, for me, like that isn't the way that I think of it.
Yeah.
So like, for me, I feel like, you know, like you said, for me, friends kind of come here. So like when we first meet and like, we're cool.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like if I'm kicking it with you, like I know I like you because I don't kick it with people I don't
Yeah.
like. You know,
That's real. Neither of us. Huh?
I'm not that kind of person. Like I'm not that kind of person.
Yeah.
So like from our interactions, that kind of lets me know like where our friendship could go.
Yeah.
You know, like there, and I say that not to be mean, and I
Yes.
say that like this is the way I feel like a lot of everybody should kind of think about it, because just because you know you connect with somebody on one thing doesn't mean that that's going to be your long-term friend. You know, like
True.
that could be in your life for a moment, and there's nothing wrong with that.
True.
You know what I mean? But you
True.
got to know people are supposed to be placed. I feel like for a lot of my close friendships, like those are the friendships that we're consistently working on. Like I know I'm gonna consistently hear from y'all. You know, like I know that y'all gonna consistently hear from me. Like we do stuff to try to make sure we are spending
Yes.
time together. And like I definitely have different buckets of
Yes.
friends. Like I feel like I have 3 close buckets of friends, right? And then 4. Take that back. 4 close buckets of, and I have what I would consider like, you know, like of it in a circle. So this is my 4,
Yeah.
right? Here, this is like my friends, but like they're not the ones that I talk to every day. You know,
Yeah.
like we are talking, it could be like once or twice a month, you know,
Yes.
but like anytime we link up, it's just like
It's a time.
you're so you're so wonderful. You do this more often.
Yeah.
And there's those that you like kind of see when you in spaces, you know,
Yeah.
like you say, hey, how you
Yeah.
doing? How you been? You know, like, but y'all don't necessarily have to like kick it. Or if you
We don't have to be
do
in
it,
each other's face and spaces all the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I feel like for people to become your close-knit circle, y'all are gonna work on y'all friendship. Like it just is. You're putting in that time and you're putting in that energy just like you would with anything else that you want to be around, you
Yes.
know?
Okay. Ooh, okay. So several things. Okay. I'm going to first go to the comments and just repeat what some of the folks said have stated. Tamarsha was just saying that a strong friendship is definitely important and we can't walk this journey alone. I totally agree. Even when I thought I could, right? Jelena said, whoever got that journal know all the business. Prayerfully it's in the trash somewhere because we still hold on to that journal, baby. Mom said, hey, daughters, my loves, hey, you all. Thanks for the compliments. Hey, we said hey to T. Lee. Let me see. She said, love. Why, thanks, Mom. Thank you. Not her T having a conversation. But I remember this was a more recent year. So we talked already, you know, transitioning inequalities, advocacy, and navigating friendships, and now we're just, you know, communications, right, is kind of where I believe that we are, and like how to strengthen a friendship. And so one thing that comes to mind is this again, we have so many ways. I don't think because we started so young, that we were first intentional about it until we got, but I'm realizing how intentional I believe God is with our relationship. Like our bonding moments came with some of the parties, but for me, like we have, first of all, my friend and I, we started our Facebook profiles together.
Yeah.
Like if you go all the way to the beginning of our pictures, it's us like laying in the bed. Before selfies had selfies, I was at her house and we were taking pictures or whatever. We just laying in the bed making ugly faces, and so those are like some of the beginning photos for Facebook for us. We started our Twitter pages together, like social media. We legit started together. Craziest of things. We bonded through sports, right? My friend basketball. I didn't play basketball, but we had a whole Iverson and Kobe Bryant beef. Which I'm glad we are in the Lakers colors, because now thanks for being a representative. Like Iverson was her boo, Kobe was mine, you know, to the end of time, right? I miss him very much. I ain't gonna hold you, I miss him very much, because at first it started as like that little small just rivalry in sports, but that became a huge staple, I think, in our relationships, because I actually started watching Kobe and his career and who he was as a person, because I remember him being hated a lot for who he was, right? And that made me pay attention to his character. But I'm like, as I evolve, how y'all evolve with Beyonce is how I felt I evolved with Kobe. Okay. So I was just putting it out there. That's how I feel like I evolved with Kobe. And so, but you know, so we bonded differently in different ways. And then I'm thinking about even Barnes and Noble situations, like when we went to Barnes and Nobles and we'll pick a book and we'll be in there for hours and we just reading. We'll be reading back to back. We'll read whatever, you know, our feet kicked up on a wall, whatever. Like we spent some very valuable time. But granted, this was during a time where cell phones, they existed, but they weren't our all in all. And so now I'm coming up to a couple of summers ago, or going back to a couple of summers ago, where we were taking night walks, right? When we would walk with Fran's dog. And we would just like meet up and we would have conversations. We started using the icebreaker, best self icebreaker cards. And I'm like, my friend became, and so we are both very we're God-fearing and we hetero, okay? But in this context,
oh Lord,
my friend was my summer love, okay? Like we spent time like learning each other from an adult standpoint. And so we will present these questions to another. I think I have, let me see, because the box was away from me. No, hey Maya, hey Christina. Let me see. We will present different questions. Like I think I got some loose ones over here, John, in this thing. And if not, it's okay. But we'll present these questions to each other, just trying to get to know, right? So this is one of the self-awareness cards. It says, where in your life do you feel misunderstood? We ask each other these types of questions, and we will go for a nice little bit of time into where this will go. And I felt like I became so much closer to my friend through those conversations. Ooh, through having those conversations. Today. I know. I'm trying not to cry. And I got, you know, it took those cards took us on what I believe was a whole journey into discovery of self, surely, but discovery of friendships and how to best understand people from Maya. How to best understand people from their perspective, right? It allowed me, having those types of conversations allowed me to stand in my friend's shoes as an adult and see her life from her perspective. I'm trying not to, y'all. We're holding together. And so, friend, what did that do for you? Like, what did that do for you? I'm listening. Go ahead. So I won't cry.
I definitely have to agree with you on the fact that I definitely believe it made us closer, and I definitely feel like it makes you understand your friend a lot better. Yes. You know, it's funny because like
I'm gonna grab these cards too, by the way. Go ahead, I'm listening.
I know so much about you, but I think that gave us a chance, and I feel like we tend to be very vulnerable with one another, but I feel like that put us at a different level of vulnerability with each other.
Yes.
And doing that, like, it kind of helps you be able to verbalize like, your fears or your struggles that you are like kind of scared to even like talk about, or may not even realize are like are struggling with or have some fear around.
Yes.
It's nice to be able to bounce something off of somebody to be like, okay, like here's what I'm thinking about it, and be like, okay, like I can understand your point of view around. Here's my. Like it definitely taught us two sides of story, you know.
Sure, for sure. So the questions that we were referring to, or that I'm referring to, is called Icebreaker Deeper Talk by Best Self is the brand. And you can get these from Amazon, as where I order mine. I think they're like $25 or something like that. When I said this is worth the investment, it's absolutely worth the investment. It has 6 different types of categories, which is dreams, being exposed, life lessons, courage, self-awareness, and your beliefs. Like we choose 6 cards is what we were doing that summer. We chose one of each card and we just walked and talked and had the conversation. They have them for relationships too, but baby, if you buy this one, you buy them for everything, because it's a
and there's so many
learn. So yeah, so many things. Hey, Auntie Marcy, Jelaine said what we're not gonna do is cry. But y'all, this is so we talked. I'm trying to get my friend out. She got some business too, as well as I. Right. So we're trying to hurry up before noon.
Y'all, all I want to do is go take my car to get an oil change. They close. I just don't want to be there all late. They be like, "You got to stay here past 4." Like, no, just get my oil.
Right. Like it don't take that long. So we have my friend. So one thing also that she's been, it's so many things that she's great at. I learned. So we just go back to volunteering and just learning the community. I started to enjoy service or doing things of service or within the community because of my friend. She would, friend, I got this going on. You want to come with me? I'm just like, sure. I ain't got anything. Get out the house. But also, it's like having genuine interest. She exposed me to the reason why I like to eat the way that I do is because my friend. Like it's because my friend. She has, again, eclectic friends, eclectic palates. So whatever she was introduced to, she also made sure that, or whether it was intentional or not, again, she shared it with me. And so I think that's a good core strength of a friend. She is like, I'm not going to keep this to myself. She's not a gatekeeper like that. Like she shares experiences of lifestyle. She believes in journey. She believes in traveling and getting outside of what's normal, right? We didn't grow up rich, right? By no means, but our experiences made us very wealthy. I can say that, like, experience has made us very wealthy in our intellect, in our eating habits, right? In navigating people, enduring hardships. Woo! We've experienced some stuff, friend. Goodness.
Yeah.
My friend, she, there is not a space that I have traveled to that she has not gone with me. Even when I was uncertain. Let's talk, because let's not. We've already said our life was not perfect. We've dealt with some real stuff. And I think one of our first large ones was me not going to my best friend graduation. That was usual, baby.
First fight. Like that was our first friendship breakup for sure. That was our first friendship breakup. I said,
yes. Yes. And that hurt me too, for I ain't gonna hold you. It hurt.
I know, because I was the first. Tell y'all, because the Lord be working on me every day, because sometimes especially young me will feel like, well, if that's how you gonna do me, then that's how I'm gonna do you, which is a petty way of thinking. Y'all don't take that nowhere with y'all.
Amen.
It's a petty mindset.
Listen, and you know what's funny is, I don't know how, because we didn't talk to each other for a minute. I don't know if it was months or like a year. We did not talk.
Close to a year.
Yeah, it was a long time.
And I'll never forget, y'all. So she missed my graduation. Her graduation was like the day after mine. I was so hurt, that she did not come to my graduation.
Yeah.
I was at graduation. You supposed to be excited. I was not. I was like, my best friend.
It was our high school graduation.
It really was only our high school graduation. So again,
it doesn't matter. It was a graduation,
and it was like
a big event,
a milestone.
Yeah.
Why you not here?
Yeah.
And
I got my tissue already. I got
here. I took it out. All I got is napkins. But I feel like, then in turn, my thing was, well, you know what? I can't go to her graduation and be happy for her. And I can't understand why she didn't go to mine. Yeah. And I think also very hard because, like, again, this comes with, like, this is a system, one of them systems, that friendship system that we had to navigate. Because I feel like one of the things that happened was I got a call from her cousin who's like, she is so sorry she missed your graduation. And I'm just like,
I'm like, what's cousin? And I'm like, what cousin was it?
I'm like, you're nice. I like you, but you're not my best friend, so you shouldn't be calling me with it. You know, like that was my.
And I think it was because I didn't have a ride. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's because I didn't have a ride.
No, I'm not gonna say why you wasn't there, but
okay, we'll talk about it back in because I don't remember. I'm really go ahead, Fred.
Like my feelings was hurt about it.
Yes, it must have been a boy.
And I will say, like, one of the things I appreciate about my friend is that she understands that I could be stubborn. Again, I will say the Lord is working on me every day. You know, like every day, like every.
And then Maya would know when you mad, you don't be caring. This is true.
No, again, God is working on me every day. I am not perfect, you know. And so, Jelena, I know
she ain't talking.
Listen. Well, I got you after this. But so when we started talking back, y'all, it was Jackie who made that first call. Like, she's like, best friend, we need to talk about this. I miss my best friend. And I was like, I miss you
too. In my head, to date, I am like, I feel like your mom had something to do with us calling back and getting back together. If I'm being honest, I'm like, I know Val was talking to her. Like, I don't know. And I've always thought that. I don't know if she did or if she didn't. I felt in my heart of hearts, Val had one of her heart-to-heart moments with you and was like, you know, trying to be the voice, you know, the voice of reason as to what could possibly have happened in that time. But y'all, we, like she said, we feel deeply, okay, about loyalty and what it means to be loyal. Like, because we give our all in whatever relationship it is. Like, if we love you, we rock with you and we rock hard. And so that was one big bestie argument that was like, I don't know how, I lost my friend.
That was definitely the first.
Like, I remember, man. So yeah, that's one of the ones that stay stapling. But there's not where I'm like, yeah, my best friend's been with me through, of course, relationships and divorce. Baby, when I was the one chucking the deuces and wanting to create my alter egos and create Jacob and all, because I'm always good for a name, Jan. Create my alter ego, who was Jacob. Jacob did give two craps. Okay, this is before Save Jackie. Let's also keep some of these stories in mind. Man, this is before Jackie was saved and loved the Lord with all her heart, like she does now. But honey, Jacob version of Jackie was reckless, and I will break your heart if you broke mine. Okay, I will create a vendetta. And I will show you how much you hurt me, but how much I can retaliate if I wanted to. Lord, I thank Lord for forgiving me. Because I was really like, woo. And what block because I'm a thinker. I had no other choice.
Humans do things like that. Like,
ooh. But what I learned though was my greatest strength when it came to, because if I'm hurt, I'm like, I gotta block you out. That was my thing. If I'm hurt, I'm blocking you out. And so either it was I'm coming for you, how you came for me, or matter of fact, I learned that no, what you don't have anymore is me. And I'm a big deal when it comes to love, when it comes to life, when it comes to loyalty. I'm a big freaking deal. So when I learned later on in my adult years that the gift of me is my presence, you no longer have it. You are now been excluded. You are out of here. As for some of y'all can thank my best friend for me still being in your life, because best friend she became my voice of reason. Mm-hmm. The one that y'all calling stubborn and who right now, she saved a lot of lives.
I mean, I can say the same for you. Like, you will come in and be like, look, Greg, and I, Maya on here, oh my God, Maya, you know, my friend is about to be a doctor.
Yes.
My friend is about to be a doctor.
Yes.
Dr.
Dr. Maya.
Be out here.
Yes.
She'd be like, look at it like this. And they'd be like, dang, why you gotta say
So
that?
we have like the yin yang balances for sure. And I'm grateful. So that's the other beautiful thing about our friendship is that we have the tough conversations.
Sorry, hold on. I just seen Maya comment. No, we're not asses. It's Dr. Rogers.
Right. Dr. Rogers, you've done the work. You're doing the work. You have presented yourself, and we will not count you any less than Dr. Rogers. You've done the work. You know your stuff, ma'am. Hello. We don't vouch for nobody's. Come on here. Shoot. And I think, okay, so by the way, side note, because Maya is a mutual friend to me and someone that I know through Brittany, right? Maya recently did a study for about single mothers in her doctorates programming. Okay, so I want to just thank you all for those who filled out her questionnaire and did it expeditiously. Because let me tell you, with folks, your name speaks for you. First of all, your character speaks for you, and we hang around very strong women, strong people. And like I said, one thing we do not do is tolerate foolishness, and we don't support foolishness. And so, for those of you who actually signed and did the questionnaire, we thank you. That was on behalf of Dr. Maya Rogers.
And if you haven't, please take a look at it and go ahead and fill it out for her, because I know the percentage of Black people with doctorates is low. Help my sis become her doctor. Even though I'm claiming it, because again, Dr. Rogers, that's how it's gonna be.
Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is. And she has a genuine heart for it. So, Mike, go ahead and drop those links. Thank you, ma'am, or post or whatever it is. Go ahead, drop that in there. AE to the man. So, support, as you can see, comes quite easily through my friends. So, what does support look like to you, friend?
Oh, it's so funny. Okay, so this is about to be crazy because it's easy for me to give support. It is not easy for me to take support.
Yes.
Half the time, like my close friends, no, it'd be like, no, I don't want to do this.
Yes.
No, they'd be like, no. Mm-hmm. Like forced to take it. And those who are close to me, no. So they'd be like, and I'm doing this, and you can't say nothing about it. And it's like, all right.
Yeah. Sometimes it's called still in the reins. Yeah. Go ahead, continue on.
So for me, like, I mean, for support, like when I give support, I really try to like meet people with what they need, because like I don't want to support you in a way you don't feel like you need support, because again, like when I'm supporting you, it is genuine, you know. So it's like I don't want to decide for you what it is I should be supporting. Like I'm always open to you being like, hey, here's where I need support, you know. And like it comes in different forms. Like it's my time, it's my talent, you know. Like it's conversations, you know. Like now and again, it's some money. Don't think I'm out here rich and I got money to give, but you know, like my close ones know where and how they can depend on me for certain things.
For sure.
And it's reverse of me taking it. I can't fully give you an understanding, because again, majority of the time y'all be like, let me know what you need. It's like, nope. Not because I don't need help, but sometimes I feel like I struggle a lot with I don't know what I need. You know, so for me, it's like, well, let me just find my peace. Once I find me some peace, I'm gonna be fine. But like I said, my friends are quick to be like, guess what? I got this for you. I'm gonna do this for you. And it's like, you know what? I'm accepted, because if the Lord putting it out there, I can't turn it down. He might smite.
Yeah. He might smite me. Not smite me, already smiter. So in terms of support, I think although she feels as though she doesn't necessarily know what that is for herself, I can sometimes say the same thing. Amen. And please take it. But where she does show up for me and support is being when I get overwhelmed, when I get anxious, like I become when I am planning things, y'all, I can be a butt. Okay, because I'm so particular sometimes and I'm so hands-on a lot of the times. Like I just be wanting to make sure that my vision comes full circle, full, have clarity and that it don't confuse those who are attending and all the things. And one thing that I love about not only my best friend, but one of the supports, like they know Jackie's moods. They know when I'm about like they like watch her face, watch her reason. And some I'm one of the people who won't always say anything. It's just like, all right, figure it out. We'll pivot this way. I'm usually the voice of I don't want to say the voice of reason. I'm very optimistic. But when it comes to planning things, baby, I am a pessimist.
I would have to agree with you on that. And I can say, like, I know what my support in that looks like. I feel like I've spent a lot of my like career kind of planning, like events and coordinating events. And so like I think for me, like I'm able to tone it down because I know nothing's ever gonna be perfect.
Yes.
No matter how much you plan for it, how much you be like, okay, I'm gonna do this, that, and the third, nothing is ever going to be perfect. So if you sitting there and you holding on to perfection, you always gonna
and it ain't happening. And so, like I said, she does well with that in me. And then so that is where I found like my best friend is like she's cold at this. And here's the thing: I've seen and been alongside her as she's planned several different projects, and it is never. And this is why I tell it's very important to know. Really, the scripture says, "Know those who labor among you," or whatever. Not whatever to the scripture, but know those who labor among you, because truly he has given us a subset of people for a reason outside of your family. Granted, these are the friends that we choose, but Brittany is great at not just being a supporting cast, but knowing how to lead. Sometimes baby, take a back. I take a back seat so quick because I know, okay, because this is one of the most freshest events, but we plan to get creators. My friends and those that are attached to me know me, right? You have to be trust. This is what they taught me without saying nothing at all. This is what they taught me is to trust those who you put in place when you're planning a thing. Two, it's like, okay, you chose them for a reason. You know their strengths, right? But even with me knowing their strengths, it was so many other things that just came into play about them that I did not know, that the working well, knowing teams. They all know community. They all have their different sets of the support. They knew how to kick me out of my own event because they know that I was hands-on. They know that Jackie's going to want to do it. Baby, them suckers, I will not let this go. Them mugs made their own group chat, okay? I tried to go and get them breakfast. They was like, oh no, such and such already. Kristen already had this. I tried to go pick up the food for the event and I got caught.
Because we had no business.
Driveway. I'm in the drive-through. The Martinez is on the inside. We trying to pick up the same order. And they like, wait, what?
You didn't have business doing it. You didn't have no business doing it.
None. But the support, right? It's a big deal. Like I don't call my friends for a whole lot of nothing, but when I do, they show up and they show the heck out, because not only did that, they went over and above my requests. Like I was able to trust them with the vision, and then they filled in gaps that I didn't even know that I needed. And so support has always been like in big cases, like they freaking matter, and Britt showed up for that. So my friend, her background, she kind of just slid it on in there with, oh, I plan events in community. No, Negro. Huh? Like she is be Lavender, because we're gonna throw be Lavender out there in her creative expressions. Like she has an eye for creativity, the intricacies that I don't care for, the minute details. Brittany is the reason why we have a color brand, or that we have a brand colors at all. She created them joints. All the flyers, if you go to our Instagram page, you will see the history of Insights of Strength, of when Jackie was trying to create some stuff, and then when Brittany put her hands on it, because everything started coming together, it made sense. right? And it's not just about me. It was like, these are skill sets that I've seen friend do for other things, but I never really leaned into it. And it wasn't even for my usage. It's just like, this is what she loves to do. And when somebody loves to do something, they pour their heart into it. She was able to create vision that I didn't even have, but she was able to see what I did not see. And she does that well for my life a lot of the freaking time, where I am just, Lord. She hit me with that no, friend, real quick. And so she helps to uncover what I am typically blinded by, from whether it is that I'm stressing about, for something that I just can't see clearly because I'm in my emotions, even the God things that I get overwhelmed with. She just like, no, friend, I don't think God would allow you to do or to come and to do this. Like this lady, when I was leaving the city of Milwaukee, she in her gift for me, she gave me a card that I could open right in the moment. And then she told me, she was like, you can't open this card until you got homesick. And it was over a year before I actually opened that card for being homesick. And even at the time, I wasn't homesick, but I was like, there were some things that I was missing. And I opened that card, y'all, and it was like, she gave me a little note, in addition to the card. But then she was like, Fred, now call me so we can laugh and we can cry together. Now, I didn't do either of the things. I'm sorry. I was like, no, I'm not going to cry, because the card itself just made me feel better. Right? Reminded me of who I was. Like, she's great for reminding me of who I am, for hyping me up. And this is all under the realm of support, because support is needed in friendship. Sometimes, so often, we feel like we're walking alone. And it's that one, it's like, Lord, I know I can come to you. I know that you're there. You never leave me, you never forsake me, and all of this, that. But can I get a human touch? Best friend usually comes in that form of human touch for me. Mm-hmm. This morning, it's one of those things. Like, I was highly emotional this morning for whatever, the Lord knows, for whatever reason it is. But
I think this is a sensitive time of year. I've been like,
so okay, well, shucks, it can go away. But I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking. I started thinking about my friend, but this is before I was already crying. But then I started thinking about my friend and just all the things that we've encountered and been through together, and I became so appreciative, because she's several colors in my little rainbow. Okay, like, she helps to light up my life. And so even when our misunderstandings will happen about, it's like y'all, there is because we have usually, because our friendship, our arguments be so big when they happen. It's always, we both go to the deep end. Like, I ain't got my friend no more, because that don't happen. But when God comes through and he brings those times of separations to us for to grow us both, and we don't either of us have understanding of it in that time, baby. My best friend, y'all, has literally had to be my eyes for me in Chicago. That happened for real.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was a wild time, because we weren't supposed to be in Chicago, and I tell her that's on my side. I wasn't supposed to be traveling. Laura sat me down for traveling that particular year. Wait, I can't say it. We just say plan.
Literally everything that could happen happened on that trip.
Baby.
Emergency room. We ended up in an accident. Like,
I love, what was my left eye? What was it? Yeah, it was my left eye, because I could keep my right. But the pain was so bad. I scratched my cornea. The pain was so bad in that one eye that I couldn't keep my right one open, and I felt everything in my body, like every pain in my body that could have been felt on that was felt. And I'm just like, Lord, you gotta forgive me, because there's a story in the Bible where somebody was supposed to be on the boat. I feel like it wasn't Noah. Who was it? When I think about it, I'll post it. But somebody wasn't supposed to be on that boat. Jonah wasn't supposed to be on the boat. And Jonah told the people, so the storm is happening, it's going crazy. Ooh, things are happening that don't have to be happening. The only reason why it's happening is because Jonah is running away from Nineveh. And at the time, I wasn't supposed to be, thank you, Maya, you know, amen. Thank you for the confirmation. Joe, at the time, it was like, okay, look, I didn't get on a plane and I didn't fly nowhere. I'm just next door. We in Chicago. We drove up here. We safe. We ain't into nothing. All the things. And I just thought my eye was dry from a contact. I took it out. I thought I took out this contact. I couldn't find all the things. And the whole time my eye was scratched and I didn't know it. And it was so irritable. Go ahead, Fred.
Well, it just make me think about that time, because also with Maya being on here, remember that was the same weekend that she was having her gender reveal for Jeremiah.
Yeah.
And I forget, because you were laid up in the car and I was like, I can't stay. We didn't been in an accident. We didn't have to go to the emergency room. Like, I love you, but I gotta
Yeah.
go.
We
Tired.
never know.
Y'all don't. I pray that nobody ever gets trapped downtown Chicago looking for an emergency room or urgent care to go
Baby, because you ain't gonna find it.
to be
It was
there.
horrible.
It was Wendy. We were walking. She can't see. I got to lead her. And if you've been to Chicago, it's sometimes you see some questionable stuff
Yeah,
downtown.
and I listen. It's a trust. With the eyes open, it's Chicago. Yes. So the whole eye gone, girl. The whole eye was gone. It took like 2 weeks. We can have 2 weeks for it to heal. But my friend was my eyes for me, and I was like, I'll never forget that. She could have let me run into a pole. I think we did hit a door at a point, but we could have let.
That may have happened because at that point I may not have realized just how messed up you were. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes
Baby, adult tantrums was real that day.
she can't see.
I can't see nothing. That scratch took it all. And I was like, forgiving the Lord. So that, like, even the support of being the eyes, like, if you can't trust somebody, if you can't, I had to trust her with my life, right? And so I trust her with my life, y'all. Knowing that she won't put me in any crazy or dire situations, knowing that she would tell me the truth when I don't want to hear it, right? Like, you need all of these things. Like, transitions are important. Even in the most trivial of things, like, y'all, she's been a great freaking support. And so obviously we can go on and on and on about this 80-year relationship. See, 80-year, I put in 80 years because then it will make the other 20 seem bad, right?
That was a good one. That was a good one. I accept.
It won't seem bad. It's so many things that are needed. And like, my friend fears the Lord. Right. And so, Lord, every time I kind of get away, I'm just like, he literally just keeps showing me moments of my friend praying for me. Like, there are times where I've heard her pray, and there are times where I can tell that she's taking note. Right. So he literally just brought me to a moment where she wrote a note in her journal praying for me. My friend prayed for me. If you don't get friends that pray for you, fam, get your friends that pray for you.
If you change your friends, because I don't feel like I float in circles where my friends don't pray for me or don't want the best for me. Like that's not to be rude, but I don't feel like that's a friend. Because friends always have each other.
Yeah, like there's a necessity to it, and for me for sure. God, and I know for my friend, it's like, and I can trust her prayers. Them prayers ain't out here to speak ill. Again, we don't speak ill of each other. You know, like, we know how to have tough conversations, which is something that I appreciate, because we've had, like I said, we've had quite a few of them. Not often, but when they come, they're big. And so, in learning to trust God, so that's where I want to kind of, I guess, end us at. It's like, how did you learn, or do you learn? Because for me, I believe it's continual to trust God with our relationship, and where it is that we are. How did you learn to do that?
So I think like a big part, it's so funny because like you talk about like growing up in church, y'all. I did not grow up in church. You know, like I come from a family who fears God for sure. Like
Yeah.
I know I got a Baptist family through and through,
Yeah.
right? But like they were not like avid church goers.
Mm-hmm.
So like when we talk about like things that our friends bring to us, like Jackie really brought the Lord to me.
Mm.
You know, like again, I've always known him, but she's like, nah, fam, root your relationship. Like you gotta root your relationship. And it's like, okay, you're right. And like I feel like you have been a big part of me able to put trust in God
Mm.
and put trust in God in my relationships. Like not even just our relationship, but in all our relationships. And I feel like I pray a lot to God. Like, you know, like if I'm not for somebody, Lord, please remove me out their life. Because I don't ever want to block nobody's blessings.
Yeah.
You know, I pray that like if you are not for me, that God removes them out of my space because I don't want them blocking my blessings.
Yeah, that's real.
And it's
That's real.
not supposed to be friends right now. Like, Lord, I got to be fine with that. You know, I'm not going to argue with you about it. I'm going to accept it for what it is. But I know that if we're supposed to be tight, you're going to put us back in that space to be close like that again.
Yeah.
And that's how I got to let it go. Because, I mean, I've had friends who have been my friends for a phase.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, they make their way out. It does not mean that I don't still have, like, genuine love for them. I just know, like, we're not friends like that. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And I hope they don't feel that way about me. Like, I hope that they're okay with it. You know, like, I hope there's, like, no animosity around it. It's just, like, we cool, but we not tight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. 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 And legit, my prayers are the same. Like I pray for my friends, and I pray for the friends that they have too. So our prayers, and I don't think I've ever actually said that, but no, those are legit situations or things that I pray for too. It's like if I'm not for them or they're not for me, remove them. And I want the same thing, like remove them from my friends because again, I don't want growth in any way to be hindered. As she said, like you know, there are times in our life where again we have those separation moments. I remember one in particular, and because listen, I pray, I pray at the drop of a dime, and I had to come to understand that sometimes it's not always accepted the way because that's me. Right, I have to be. It's okay for me to do it, but sometimes everybody ain't trying to hear that. And I also understood that I've had my moments too. Like I ain't trying to. I don't want nope. I don't want to hear enough from you. I don't want to hear enough from the Lord. I don't want to hear a sermon. I don't hear nothing. And so I remember one time that happened between us. And the Lord showed me like this is one of our tough moments. Like it's not you that she was rejected. It's me. And I'm like, what you know, what is that? What was that? And it wasn't him even really that she was rejected. It was the entire principle around this situation that was going on. And he didn't show me that part. And we didn't communicate that at that time, and so it was one of those moments where we had a gap in our relationship. And I think we checked in, but we were not talking how we vibe out for a couple of months.
Yeah.
And then it was maybe a year and a half or so before we even had the conversation from that moment. But we were cool, but we were better, but we still hadn't had, talked about that elephant in the room. And then when we did, right, we're both in a space to receive what was happening and was able to talk about it in a healthy manner, and she gave me her perspective and I had my perspective, and y'all, we was feeling the same thing, and we both was mad at the Lord. Why you sent me to my friend, and why you make my friend do blah blah blah? So Fred, you want to hit on that just a little bit?
Because I definitely know what you are talking about, y'all. That was one of them points, like when she talked about like we have really been through some stuff with each other, like we have really been through stuff.
Yeah.
And like normally, again, like sometimes not sometimes, like a lot of times I like really like use Jackie as like my faith guide, and so at this particular instance, I remember I had just had a topic and like my soul was not healed. I was not in a good place. I was in a place where I was like feeling inadequate as a woman, inadequate as a person. I felt broken. I was in a really sore place.
Mm-hmm.
It came over because she was like, I got to check on my friend.
Mm-hmm. And I had a key.
She
and I don't just barge in with my keys. So
she like, coming
yeah.
over. And she comes over and oh my goodness. I remember we having a conversation and we like talking a little bit about like how I'm feeling. Cause it was one of those times where I really couldn't even articulate like how I was feeling. I just knew I didn't feel like me.
Yeah.
This is when it goes back to like, man, check on your strong friends. They don't be lying. Okay.
Yeah.
Check on
Yeah, I'm gonna pause you, Frank. Y'all, if this is good, make sure y'all share like all the things or what have you. And then I want you to even share some important things that are for you and your relationship, or you wish that your relationships have, or your friendships have. Continue on, friend.
And I just remember us having some conversation, and I knew I was mad at God, you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I feel bad about being mad at him because the one thing I know is he know where my heart and my mind is. So I knew
Come
he was
on.
mad at him.
Yeah, let him
You know,
listen. Let him
like,
listen.
you got Jackie coming over here. Like, hey, you know you need to talk to the Lord. And I'm like, I've been talking to him.
Yeah,
I got
catching
with
all,
him and he
catching all the smoke.
And she's like, well, you know what? I could just, you know, like you said, we can tell with our facial expressions. I knew you was like, I can't deal with my best friend right now. Like I just can't. I can't do nothing for her.
Yeah,
like,
that's real.
And,
you gotta know when to hold them and when to fold them. Okay.
Yes. And she was like, best friend, can I pray? And I can like, let's pray. And I was like, I don't want to pray. I don't want to pray. Like I was like, you could pray. I'll sit here as you pray, but I ain't praying. You know, and like for us, like that was like a big thing. Cause like I could tell when I did that, like it hurt my friend heart. And it wasn't like I was trying to hurt her heart. I'm like, my heart is hurt. Like I'm struggling to find words to pray to him. Like I'm talking to him because I'm like, put me in a boat like this. This how you gonna do?
Yeah.
What did I do to do that? You know, like you question. Like when I say I was mad at God, like I was mad. I'm thankful he worked it out and we back cool and that and he accept that I was mad at him and he ain't mad at me for being but
Yeah.
it was that was like a trying time. And I think like, you know, there was some things that were said that was just like you said, we were in a place where we couldn't understand each other.
Yeah.
And, like there were some takeaways where it's like, nah, bro, you said some terrible stuff to me. Got her over here like, but you said some terrible stuff to me. And it's like, oh
yeah.
It was a process, but like you said, like I'm thankful that he brought it full circle.
Yes.
And like I'm coming to understand for me in particular, like I'm not a person you talk to in a moment. Like if I just went through them, don't talk to me in a moment about it. I'm not gonna the words that's gonna come out gonna hurt both our feelings. And it ain't put on purpose. Like it's I have to sit with stuff to be able to process it, then I can come back to you about it.
And
so
I'm very much so the same.
Like I can't give you what you want right away.
Yeah. What I call my go dark moments, or when I'm no peopling or whatever, I know that that I should not be peopling. Okay, so I'll go and I'll tuck myself into a corner. I'll go in my hut. I've been out a whole lot more this year. We bless the Lord because that's His doing. That's only the Lord's doing. I've been out of my hut a whole lot more. But those like my spaces that are there, that it gets ugly, and it's space that is necessary. And I'm grateful for friends and family who understand that space. I think that's one of the things that Brittany taught me is to not only have your space, but make sure other people respect it. Don't touch my boundaries. And so we do in our relationship, because boundaries are important in friendship. Respect and honor those. Because some folks are like, oh, well, that's my best friend. No. If she putting a boundary on them, she putting a boundary on me too. I just take note.
It's funny that you even talk about boundaries, like y'all, because I feel spirit. I feel like I struggle a lot with like setting boundaries.
Yes.
All right, I gotta protect my energy. Like people don't draw on you as long as you like allow them to do it. They're never gonna not take support if that's what they need. So for the last few years, I try to set a goal for myself every year, simply because it's like I gotta work on me. Like there's things that I want to work on, or I want to be different. So I've learned like you got to put action with it.
Yes.
So here I set a goal for myself. So like last year was like big on me. Like the so 2 years ago it was boundary setting. So I started learning to like set
Yes.
boundaries, right? So
Yes.
last year my goal was like saying no,
Yes.
and like being okay with saying no, because again, like being a person who is helpful, like telling people that I can't do something like hurts my feelings. You know,
Mm-hmm.
after I say no to y'all may move past it and be full going on it. You know,
Right. Right.
how could you tell them no when they told you that they needed you to help them with this? Like,
Right.
how can you do that? Like, I feel like a great amount of guilt around it. And
Yes.
last year was me working on like, okay, be fine in your no's, because when people tell you no, they're fine that they told you no, and it's okay to tell people no and to let it be what it is.
Yes. And that's it. And that's it. So one thing I'm grateful for is that we learn from each other, even in more is caught than taught, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
not always what, folks is like, oh, you just watch their actions, yes, but also hear what the people are saying. We don't always take the time to hear and to listen to what is actually what's being said. Hearken, right? When the Lord says hearken or hear ye in the Bible, it's like listen up. Pay close attention. Because like I said, although my friend wasn't, because I don't try to invade boundaries, right? I really don't. But even though she was placing those boundaries on other people and she was doing them for herself, I took heed to them, because because there may be times where I needed, what she did was placing it on me and I wasn't ready for it. But I understood. I was like, okay, this is what she needs. We can't bogart our way into people's lives because of the history that we have with them. There is still respect. I respect her as a woman. I respect her in business, in entrepreneurship. I respect her when she's, in fun, like in every area of her life. Like, we have been together for so long, or had friendships, so like our families are intertwined to me. Like, that is my family. Val is my homie. You know what I mean? Like, I love her mom.
Yeah.
I love her sister. Or something
Same.
like that. Those are real. Her like. We have done life together for a very, very, very long time. And I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful because this is not a relationship. Like, she's my golden girl. Like, Brandy best friend, this is my best friend, and she, even when I went, she did not shy away from me or leave me. When I got real serious about God, she respected that. And even when not everyone understood, she tried to understand, and she evolved with me, because there was some friendships that were lost along the way, and that there were some misunderstandings that didn't happen. And even when she didn't understand, she's like, well, best friend, she would do what God is doing, do what God tells you to do, whatever, I trust that you are hearing it, blah, 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 blah. So she stood and worked that lane with me. And then the beautiful thing is that the Lord came in and showed her how to navigate. Like, I seen when he started navigating her to be with me, even in those quiet seasons. It's like, okay, I know he's working on me, so he must be working on her to bring her where I am, or for me to meet her where she is. However that happened, and those were not easy, because I'll be wanting to call and blow up the phone, but he would tell me no, and that was hard, right? And I could only imagine that there were some times where he told you no
Yeah.
to help me, where the help was needed. It's like,
My best friend, no, this ain't the time right
yeah,
now. There's definitely in our lives where I felt like I knew that you were dealing with some stuff, and like I could not be present, and like you feel bad in not being present, but then it's like once you start to talk to God about it, you realize you're not supposed to be
yeah,
present.
yeah.
And that's okay too.
And
Like
she tapped in, she tuned in. So when we came back, I'm like, oh, all is well.
mm-hmm.
All is well. So I'm like a part of that boundary, y'all. My friend had to go 15 minutes ago, so I'm gonna let her go. I feel like I want to do this again sometime. We'll wait. We'll pray on the Lord when He needs. But y'all, we've talked about boundaries. We talked about navigating transitions. We talked about the genesis of our friendship here. We talked about support, what it means to give your time, your talent, even support in form of conversations. Like, this is a form of support, rooting your relationships in God. We've tackled quite a quite a bit, and I can only hope and pray that there is something that that you picked up on, something for you to, for your own takeaways. If you did, go ahead, put it in the chat or what have you. Present questions for later. But I want us to leave out of here with you doing the three things. I want you to say something to ignite others. I want you to share something that is teachable, that's a teachable moment for you. And then I want you to leave a thought of strength. So ignite, encourage, ignite, encourage, right? Or to teach a thing or something that you learned, right? And then I want you to leave your words to strengthen others. Well, it's really, if it's in life or in friendship.
All right, so let's see. All right, so for ignite and encourage, what I got. So, all right, I'm thinking of it in the sense of friendship. Like if you feel like this is a friendship that you know you want to hold on to, like never be afraid to have those tough conversations with your friends. Mm-hmm. You know, like just this past week, I had a tough conversation with one of my other close friends. You know, like mm-hmm. don't be afraid to have those hard conversations with your friends. Like yes. You got to do it, and it's the only way to really strengthen your friendship. Like you just got to do it. It's gonna be hard.
Yes, just do it.
Easy, but that would be the ignite and encourage part.
Yes.
Teachable. Let me tell you, and I'm still working on this a little bit every day.
Yes.
Listening.
Come on.
Active listening. Like, go ahead. And I will tell you, the person who I know who does, the two people who are both still on here will be Jen and Maya. Once again, like first off, Maya, love you. She got like bad hearing, y'all. Like, I don't care what nobody say. This person over here saying this person, and bring it on Taya all together.
Yeah.
I feel like that is a skill that I've been like, I gotta work on that because wow, like
that's good.
And I noticed that with Jen too, like, and I know it's because of their counseling backgrounds, you know, like counselors and those two ladies like are good at being able to really like listen to what and how you feel, and then like figuring out how to encourage you in where you're at. Yes. And those are just like, that is like one that I truly appreciate about the both of them. Mm. And so like for me, that is a teachable moment. Yes. Like, man, listen more than you talk sometimes. Like, yes. And then for strength, don't be afraid to ask for help, and don't be afraid to accept help. Don't be afraid to set boundaries. Like, again, I go back to, if you don't set no boundaries, people gonna pull from you whenever and however you can. And again, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's like, you know, like, don't let people lick your salt. Mm-hmm. You know, because salt gone, what you gonna do?
Mm-hmm. 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 That's good. That's good. Friends, ignite. She's just ignited you. She just taught you, and she's strengthened you, igniting with having tough conversations. Just do it. Being teachable, right? Listening to be active, or active listening, she said, and listening more to actually hear the people and to understand them, and then strengthening them. Set your boundaries. Ministry is a greedy whore, I was once told. So as long as you feed and give it what it wants, it's going to always take from you. Okay, it's going to always have its legs open to you, is how they said it to me, and it's the truth. So is service. Like, it is greedy. As long as you give people, and things will take. So know how to have your boundaries. Was her strengthening moment. And y'all, we out. Best friend, thank you for doing this with me. We got you. Maya said that she wants more conversations about repairing grieving relationships, or how to deal with those types of relationships or friendships. So thank you everybody for joining on. Miss Octavia, we see you in here, girl. Gia, Jelena, Maya, all the peoples, T. Lee, Mima, all y'all was on here. Thanks for sticking around. It's longer than we anticipated, but it was good to me. Christia, like it was good to be Mr. Keith. All y'all, thank y'all so much. This will be on the NIC Strength page. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. We do have a YouTube channel now, so this will be uploaded on there eventually. So yeah, YouTube. Y'all, I'm TikToking now. Come on, JLove_26. Yeah, I am out here in these social media streets. And it's a lot. So make sure
Like
y'all are tuned in. Right. Follow all the things. Okay. I'm just gonna make the sign. Say follow all the things, Ram. We gotta do that. But we are Insights of Strength on all platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. But on TikTok it's J_love 26. You'll find me. I'll post the links in the down below in the chat or on the side, however you're watching this. But I love you, best friend. That's my best friend. That's my best friend. I love you. As always, y'all keep praying, keep pressing, and stand tall. I love you. And I'll talk with you later. Thanks, friend.